Oh, well, I think if a player falls within the age category, he's eligible to play. That's settled. Would we have overplayed a Taiwo Awoniyi or a couple of other individuals, like a Kelechi Iheanacho, for instance, who, to my mind, has gone beyond the under-20 level in terms of his development. We saw him in pre-season for Manchester City. He looked the part. So I will think, if he doesn't disrupt significantly what the under-20s are doing, that Taiwo Awoniyi should be moved on, even though he's an integral part. So the guys, Manu Garba, Nduka Abadi, and the guys will not be having any of it. We hear he's also likely to sign a contract with maybe Esperance Sportive or any club in Europe. If he does that, and he goes straight into the first team of whatever team he signs for, it makes it even more complicated. Because then, if you want to do for the two sides, you're expecting that his club side will be releasing him for multiple underage categories that do not fall on the FIFA calendar. Which will work for them. So I think it's a peculiarity that you don't have every now and then. Taiwo Awoniyi has made a huge case for himself to be a member of the under-23, but he's also an integral part of the under-20s. But again, I think the African Games comes up around August, September, so the under-20 championship would have finished like months ahead. He may be able to play the two. Whether we'll be overplaying him is dependent on how much of games he gets for
the under-20.
His club side, actually. If he's not playing so much club football, then there's no overplaying him.
I agree with him totally, but I also think we are stretching a little bit too far when we say Taiwo Awoniyi should be restricted to the under-20s and the under-23s. I want to take it a little bit further and say he should be part of the Super Eagles straight away. And I'll give you my reasons. When the likes of Chegode Bami, Henry Wosu, and Stephen Keshi himself, when they broke into the national team, they were from the academicals, they were from St. Finbas and Igbobi College, and sorry to mention schools, but those were the products then. Right, 18-year-old, 19-year-old, straight from Spain.
You have two major tournaments going on.
Beautiful. You have two major tournaments going on, but Taiwo Awoniyi this year has proven to be the deadliest, most lethal striker in Nigeria so far. He has proven it. He played the Super 6 against Canopilas in Imba Dolphins. He emerged as one of the hottest properties in Nigerian football. Under 20, he scored 3 goals. You know, was it Senegal? Yeah. He scored 3 goals. He came represented under 23, scored 2 goals, and yet we claim we don't have strikers. And then we bring in some people from China and others. Michael Owen broke into the team at 18 for England national team. So if he is good enough, and this is where Keshi, if he's good enough, he should play, and this is where Keshi's work actually starts. You mentioned the fact that he's coming back into the national team. I guess he has a lot to pull from Nduka Abadi and Manu Garba's team. He has a lot to pull from those guys. If you want to see beautiful football, and those guys can play, they defeated Canopila, they defeated Enyimba, they played with big balls, and those guys can really play.
All right. I mean, some people would have said there's no overstretch this young man, he has a future ahead of him, but some people say that the future starts now. Samilayo and Bada actually saying that maybe this guy should be given a chance. Let's see what he will do. Should he play? We are not saying that he should not be a part of the under-20.
He can play for both, in my own opinion.
You think he can play for both? All right, let's see, and let's wait and see how it will pan out between the Badima Manu Garba, Stephen Keshi, Samson Siasa as well. Having said that, the man of the moment is Stephen Keshi, so to speak, Nigerian football. We understand it's going to be unveiled. Remember, there's a difference. Unveiled is not signed. Maybe it's going to be signed by Monday or early hours of Monday, but we understand it's going to be unveiled by Tuesday.
It's long overdue. I will flog this particular horse for too long. For too long. You know, so I think that with the Africa Nations Cup qualifier starting very soon, we've been joined in the same group as Egypt, Chad, and Tanzania. And from our immediate past experience, we can't take anything for granted. And the first step really is to appoint a substantive manager for the national team, who then comes in with a plan and a structure that will determine our immediate future as a national team. So unveiling him, yes, puts all of the fears that most Nigerian fans have had over the past months, all the uncertainties to bed, finally. And then I heard Stephen Keshi was apologizing during the week to the fans, to his employers, for how he's conducted his affairs over the last months. People who are close to him said he admitted to allowing success get into his head, shunning some of the methods that worked for him. Some guy very close to him was telling me yesterday that when he came on as national team coach, he used to go every weekend to watch MPFL matches. That was where he spotted players like Sunday Mba and the likes, who did Obuabuna and the likes, who formed the nucleus of the team that won AFCON 2013. And soon after, he became a national hero as coach, as winner of AFCON, as best coach in Africa. he more or less shunned all of those methods that got him successful. And of course, when it's a basic principle of life. Okay. When you shun the methods that bring success, the only way is downhill. And right now, he said that he's learned from his mistakes. We wait and see how he's able to apply some of those learnings to better our team.
That's Akitide Bada actually making a case for the second coming of Stephen Keshi. He's actually appealing to everybody that give him a chance. Yeah, let's give him a chance. Let's see. I think that's something everybody say.
Like we don't have a choice at this moment.
No, shouldn't lose 2 games on the bounce.
What is instructive is that we've been paid, as Bada rightly said, with Egypt, Tanzania, and Chad.
Yeah.
He needs a minimum of 15 points to qualify us for the Nations Cup out of 18. That means he's allowed to lose only to Egypt. Egypt has started preparation
to one country.
To Egypt, of course. I don't expect him to lose to Tanzania and Chad, at Dar es Salaam and in Jamina. But when he's going to Cairo, we're saying we're trying to be modest. Okay. Egypt has started preparation. They have appointed Hector Coupe, the guy who won for Valencia and Inter Milan many years ago. They have appointed him, and he has drawn up a plan. They are using the bunch of local lads, meaning they are not relying on pros. Stephen Keshi needs to get his heart right. All group winners will qualify automatically to the Nations Cup, and then second best winners. The minimum Stephen Keshi has 2 second best winners, I beg your pardon. The minimum Stephen Keshi can do is to top that group or hope to qualify as one of the 2 best losers. Anything short that will make Nigeria not to go for the 3rd Nations Cup in 4 attempts. We didn't go under Siasa, we went under Keshi, then we didn't go under Keshi again. If we miss out again, I shudder to think what may happen to football.
We'll drop our rank.
Egypt, we should note that Egypt have missed 3 on the bounce, 3 on the trot. If Egypt misses another, that will be 4. They don't want to do that.
All right, so let's go to this week. It's going to be this week. Stephen Keshi will come out and sign and be unveiled, and he probably will give us a template, a blueprint of how he intends to achieve what Larry affairs, his concerns. That look at, we should actually bring us back to reckon it. We have the likes of Ethiopia, Congo, and the likes doing well in Africa, and you wonder why is Nigeria being placed 10th. I mean, we are supposed to be the 10th. We are supposed to be the giants of Africa. But again, let's see what this week will unveil for Nigerian football. Having said that, let's leave the shores of let's leave the continent and go straight to England. We are going to start with England. The FA Cup took place yesterday. The semi-final, first of the semi-finals took place yesterday. It was between Arsenal FC and Reading. It was a game that was frustrating because it went into extra time, and Chelsea, Arsenal left it late, and they got the 2-1 victory over Reading. Scoreline on your screen. We saw Arsenal defeat Reading 2-1. It was 1-0. Alexis Sanchez got the first goal, then Reading equalized. Alexis Sanchez got the second goal during the extra time, and it ended 2-1 in favour of Arsenal. As it stands, Arsenal are through to the final. Now waiting to see who will qualify between Liverpool and Aston Villa. It's going to be a difficult game for both Liverpool and Aston Villa. But again, Liverpool have it within the they look good.
They need to salvage their season.
They need to salvage their season.
We thought that I haven't pushed City so close last season, finishing second in the league. They'll be kicking on from there. Unfortunately, they lost Suarez, and a lot of things went pear-shaped for them. This season, it doesn't look like they would even make the top 4 because I think they are 5 points adrift for 4th place. So pretty much like Arsenal, the FA Cup represents their only realistic chance for silverware this season. And I don't think it will be by any means or by any stretch of the imagination an easy ride for Liverpool, because Aston Villa, under the stewardship of Tim Sherwood lately, have proved very, very competent. They went away the last match day to beat Tottenham Hotspur 1-0. Benteke has scored, I think, 5 goals in the last 4 games. He's in fine fettle. The team is playing well. They're gritty. They're running all 90 minutes. They're working very hard. The work ethic has been improved significantly from when they were under the tutelage of Lambert. So it would have the feel of a cup final to it. Yesterday, we saw how Arsenal struggled against an opposition. You would have thought they would still roll over. The team just pretty much sat deep, 10 men behind the ball per time, frustrated Arsenal from getting through. He had to take 2 pieces of individual brilliance from a combination of Ozil and Alexis Sanchez to unlock their defense. I mean, otherwise they would have stayed resolute for 90 minutes, 120 minutes, pushed Arsenal to penalties, and the nerves probably would have gotten the better of Arsenal, especially with the unconvincing performance of Chesney between the stakes. So Liverpool, bottom line, have got to bring their A game to the table, have got to play up to their full potentials if they intend to get past Aston Villa, because it will be by no means easy for them to go.
That is analysis of Arsenal's game yesterday, and actually with the way Aston Villa coming into each game, and also Liverpool's wanting to actually salvage the season, shows that the FA Cup is clearly open. between any of the three teams actually that eventually would go ahead and win this. It's not going to be all for Arsenal, because Arsenal, we saw them in the past weeks, about 8 weeks now, they've been winning games on the trot and been improving with every game. But yesterday again, we saw something about Arsenal that made them look like they struggled a little bit after a while. I don't want to say it was the technical capability of reading, but it was the Arsenal that we had seen at some point in time after a while, just taking it easy, trying to unlock, then getting carried away and all that. But we saw it coming again yesterday. Do you think there's something they need to do? Or are we going back to seeing the regular Arsenal again?
I think the fact that Wenger tweaked his team a little bit actually contributed to that. We saw Chelsea goal. He wasn't so assured as Ospina will be. We saw Debuchy coming in for Bellerin, and then we saw a couple of players who don't regularly play, particularly Welsh and then Welbeck leading the attack. Those are not the regular guys who have won the past 7 games for Arsenal. Having said that, any team Arsenal actually brings out, you would expect that Wilson Rowe, as bad as mentioned, over Reading, but that wasn't the case. Reading coming for they had something at stake, history at stake, qualifying for the FA Cup final for the first time in their history. And you saw the way they played, 10 men behind the ball at every point in time, you know, and it took moments of genius for Arsenal to actually win that game. And you expect that those kind of games would actually be difficult. So that was exactly what we saw.
So it's difficult to actually predict who's going to qualify between Liverpool and Aston Villa.
It's even closer than the Arsenal Reading game, because these are two Premiership teams. Aston Villa, resurgent under Tim Sherwood. I like the look of Benteke. He seems to be back to form. And when you've got as a go-to man in attack, the other 10 guys would work very hard, knowing that if they get the ball up there, they have a man who can finish.
That's right. But the game will be later on tonight, talking about Liverpool playing Aston Villa to take place again this evening. Then we'll get a qualifier that will join Arsenal FC in the final of the FA Cup. They're playing the final for the 19th time. It's a record time for any club side in England.
If they win, they become the outright leaders in terms of FA Cup trophies. Right now, they're joint with the 11 on 11.
That explains why Bad has wearing a red hat as a chief.